And we are back, good people. Another episode of the All Go podcast. I'm your host, Desmond. If this is your first time joining and watching, please hit that subscribe button. Basically, I walk and talk sports. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the Lakers. We witnessed history on Thursday, just a couple days ago, with Lebron James for the first time in his career being eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. It was games 5 and 6. The series was tied 2-2. Each team had won 2 games. And game 5, Phoenix just came out like gangbusters. Like, couldn't miss. Devin Booker and just really all of the role players. Cameron Payne, Mikal Bridges. Like, they were just, those guys were on another level. And, Phoenix, I think by halftime, we're up by 30. I think everybody kind of knew, like, we can just kind of mail this in. This game is over. And that's definitely what seemed to happen, because the game finished around the same final or same margin, which is it got beat by 30. So that part was surprising, because to me, with Anthony Davis being injured, I kind of expected LeBron to kind of go crazy and at least be aggressive when it comes to scoring the ball, and it just didn't seem like he was in the mindset of being aggressive. And there's a lot of reports coming out about, like, the ankle was really bad and worse than they said it was, and I don't know. I like, there's nothing in me that would think that LeBron and his camp are liars by any stretch, so I'm not saying that, but it just seems convenient to me that, he's catching alley-oops off the backboard and, clowning Jay Crowder a little bit, in certain games, and then, other games, he can't do anything. He's playing on one leg. So I don't know. I just think Game 5 would have been a great opportunity for him to be ultra aggressive, because if I'm not mistaken, Game 5 was in Phoenix. So really, if you go into Phoenix and let's say LeBron just goes crazy, which I predicted he would, go for something like 40, 10, and 10. If you do that and you are able to pull a game out in Phoenix, Game 6 is at home in the Staples Center. And Staples Center was nuts. Like, that atmosphere was electric. Even from watching on TV, you could tell. So my thought was, go in there, be aggressive, go steal one in Phoenix, and then go home and potentially have Anthony Davis back. Turns out he was back for just a couple minutes, but it just seemed to me that there was an opportunity that if you really want to, be able to keep that thing rolling, and extend your playoff series, like, you kind of need to do above and beyond what you typically do. Like, and to me, with LeBron coming out in Game 5, and really he had a stat line no different than what he normally does of, 28, 29 points, 12 assists, 8 boards. Like, it just was a normal game, but he was so passive early on that to me, it didn't look like he was in the mindset of, I'm trying to win the game. To me, he seemed to be in the mindset of, well, my role player guys need to play well and hit shots. Like, if we're going to win, it's going to be because my role player stepped up, versus, no, I'm the best player on the planet. I'm going to go and do this and win this thing. And if I got to do it by myself, I will. And, maybe he's just at the age where that's just not going to happen anymore. But to me, I would just rather go out just guns a-blazing. Like, I'm going to give it everything I got. And if I go 0 for 22 and we lose, then fine. Like, but you're not going to tell me that I didn't try, and I'm going to leave it up to anybody else, even though it is a team sport, and I understand all that. But you're the best player on the team sport, so you need to try to win this game for us, because no one else is as talented as you, and no one else can do that. Like, you're the only one who could carry us to a win, and I just didn't see that from him. Game 6 was in Phoenix, and it was pretty similar. I mean, I do understand it because Phoenix and specifically Devin Booker was just white hot, like couldn't miss. I mean, I think he was something like 10 of 13, like in the first quarter. Like, what can you do with that? Like, I get that side of it, right? There's nothing you can do with that outside of getting the ball out of Devin Booker's hands, which, for whatever reason, the Lakers did not decide to do that. I just don't understand, number one, the defensive strategy. You have the guy who's playing absolutely the best in this entire series, and you're just going to, defend him the way you always do, which is silly to me because the way you always have defended him has produced him scoring 35, 40, 47 points. Like, you got to do something different. And it just didn't seem like they were, but nonetheless, Phoenix came out rolling in the first quarter, and it was like just same for LeBron. There was no difference in his approach in my eyes, especially early on. That he was still pretty passive. It was basically a pass first player, and I get it. Like, the Lakers have guys who can shoot, but they're not a really great shooting team. So for me, my thing is like, for LeBron, go to the basket. I mean, he had plenty of times where Mikal Bridges, who was probably, he's bigger than me, but he's probably my size. He's probably, 6'3", not even 200 pounds. And LeBron at 6'8", 265, you didn't want to just back him down and just score a layup? Nope. You decided to pass out of it and try to get a three. I didn't understand it. I thought he would be aggressive at least in game 6, but it was like kind of much of the same. And I guess he is who he is as far as a superstar. But what people, I think, well, at least for me, I'll speak for myself, and that's it. I don't mind him losing to the Suns. They were playing. You could probably name 3 teams that would have beat the Suns with the Suns playing like that. Everybody else is getting beat when they're playing like that. But my thing is, I don't even care that you lost the series, but to go out the way that you did was just, it just left a lot to be desired for me personally. Like I said, I won't speak for anybody else, but I just thought that that LeBron could have been way more aggressive. Right? So to me, a lot of the last 2 losses have to get put on him. They just do. You can't be passive and just think that you're just going to do what you've always done in the games and think that you guys are going to win. You don't have your number 2. Anthony Davis is not there. So with that being said, you've got to understand that you need to put this in hyperdrive. Like, you've got to go. And he just didn't do that. So Lakers get eliminated. It's interesting. I mean, I know that I think this is the number 15, so this is his 15th time, I believe, in the playoffs, and this is the first time he's been eliminated in game 1, or I'm sorry, in the first round. The injuries, I think, got to them as they did with a lot of teams, but AD was hurt, and honestly, even when he was playing, he was just so hit or miss. Like, he'd have a great game, then he'd give you a stinker. He's just so inconsistent, and it would be nice if that guy could really, like, get it together, take care of your body this offseason, heal up, rehab. Like, I understand you're not going to, come back better because you're going to spend the offseason recovering. So it's a rehab. You're trying to get back to 100%. Whereas if you go into an offseason when you're healthy, you're trying to improve your ceiling. So for him, he just needs to get healthy. That's number 1, because it's hard to do really anything when you're either hurt or have some kind of nagging injury. And for AD, he seems to always have some type of nagging injury. So we'll see what happens there. I think for LeBron, he's got ring number 4, 2, 3. He's got 4 championships. Yep, he had 2 with the Miami Heat, 1 with Cleveland, and another with the Lakers. One of my good friends, Dre, who's a big LeBron guy, fanboy, like super fanboy. LeBron can do no wrong. I asked him, does this is this going to hamper LeBron from getting to 6 rings? Because, with the Jordan and LeBron thing, the 6 championships is one thing that a lot of Jordan fans point to and say, hey, LeBron, you don't have 6 rings. And Dre does not think that LeBron will be able to get 6 rings with just this opportunity, kind of gone. And I don't think it was, when injuries happen, like, there's not too much you can do, but it's, you look at it when the season ended last year, and even when the Lakers started this season, I mean, they were, I think, 21-6 to start the season. I mean, they were rolling, and you look at it, this would have been a perfect year to be able to repeat and get number 5. And with that, all bets are kind of off. As far as trying to get number 6, you just need to catch fire one off season. So we'll see. I mean, I think it does look a little bleak as far as trying to get to 6 championships. But I mean, if both of those guys come back healthy, they kind of add some more pieces to that roster. Lakers are going to be primed to win it again. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen with the Clippers. If they lose, they're in a game 7, I think, tomorrow. But, if they lose, some guys may be leaving. So that may hurt their chances of potentially being a contender. So you just never know. But we shall see. Appreciate you staying till the end. The sun was kind of not being too cooperative, but nonetheless, appreciate it. And that's it. Peace.